We are Pro Cannabis Media.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Weed Talk News. I'm Alaina Pinto. This is the C block or last section of Weed Talk News. And I'll let you in on another piece of news. This is the last Weed Talk News since the next news show produced by Pro Cannabis Media will be called Cannabis Coast to Coast. And that will make its debut on September 9th. We will take Labor Day weekend off, but on Tuesday, September 3rd, a very special day in the life of our founder, Jimmy Young. It's his 67th birthday, and we will be going live from 3:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right before 4:20, for an hour on location at the THC golf tournament in Uxbridge, Massachusetts. We will have some live interviews and flashbacks of Jimmy's sportscasting career, plus some bloopers, the best of mine and Jimmy's, the only two contributors to this program with professional broadcast experience. But everyone else is doing such a great job too. This past weekend, though, in Greenfield, Mass, Jimmy joined dozens of online influencers for a protest of the social media censors that they are censoring content of cannabis enthusiasts and supporters.
Yo, here we go, everybody. We're live at the Cannabrand Connect event right now. Shout out to all these lovely people behind me, joining me, going live right now. We're here to set a record. We're about to break this record right now. Everybody's live. Everybody's smoking. Spark one up for the people right now. Everybody, let's go. Light up for the cause. We're here to spark a change. Instagram, stop shadow banning us. Facebook, stop shadow banning us.
That's Michael Thomason of Infused Productions, an event producer and advocate for cannabis normalization. 6 years ago, Michael was the first producer to host cannabis-friendly events at the Franklin County Fairgrounds in Greenfield, Massachusetts. Now, it's home to the Flower Expo in the spring, a growing outdoor business trade show that has expanded to Michigan this month. And this past weekend, it was the Canna Connect event. Thomason's idea was to bring attention to the censorship and treatment by some of the biggest social media platforms that are part of the new media landscape in this country and around the world. Thomason's idea was to bring attention to the censorship and treatment by some of the biggest social media platforms that are part of the new media landscape in this country and around the world. I wanted to check out just what exactly is happening to these social media influencers who are constantly having their social media content censored by those platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And on the media panel, moderated by Rhode Island's Melody Mulcahy, was Chris Ferrone from Talking Joints Memo and Joe LaChance from FM radio WNHH 103.5 FM out of New Haven, Connecticut. However, the moment of the day was at 4:20 when all the influencers went live and followed Michael into an open-sided blow-up tent.
This is the very first Spark a Change. We are going to create a national holiday. August 24th from now on will be Spark a Change Day. Starting here at Cannabis.
Only time will tell if this Spark a Change launch can grow nationally, but like the American Revolution, it all started in Massachusetts. Reporting for Weed Talk News, I'm PCM founder Jimmy Young. Now let's go 3,000 miles away to California to see what's going on in the #1 market of cannabis in the United States with Lisa Batista. Lisa?
I'm Lisa Batista from the Flavor Co. with the California Cannabis Report for Weed Talk News. Now that the State Appropriations Committee killed the hemp makeover bill on August 15th, the plans for regulating the intoxicating hemp industry in the state are once again in limbo. Like many states, California is trying to figure out how best to regulate the market that is fueling hemp-derived products available at gas stations, convenience stores, and smoke shops. This is going on in many states around the country and will be a major issue with the plant until the federal government figures out the scheduling parameters and regulations. In the meantime, Glass House Brands is challenging the recent recall of their products because the state claims there was mold in the pre-rolls of their Garlic Starship strain. The California Department of Cannabis Control recalled the products that were sold at 15 dispensaries in the state. Glass House has several questions for the regulatory board. Where did they come from, a retailer or distributor? What prompted the state's review of a product that was already cleared for sale? What lab did the testing, and where are those findings? Those questions have not been answered by the DCC. While communication is not something any regulatory agency in this industry excels in, silence is not golden in this case in the Golden State. And finally, tonight, a food reporter from Los Angeles wrote an interesting story about his experience dining at a restaurant in West Hollywood called Irie. West Hollywood is extremely friendly to restaurants where cannabis is served on the menu alongside California cuisine. 3 other restaurants in that neighborhood, the Original Cannabis Cafe, the Artistry Studio Cannabis Lounge, and the Woods WeHo, also combine cannabis and food. Lester Black wrote the story for SF Gate, a Bay Area news and lifestyle outlet. His conclusions were very positive, and he felt that these restaurants were normalizing the experience. The only problem, of course, is pairing food and cannabis in a restaurant is a violation of state law. Just another example of a jurisdiction thumbing its nose or other body part at state law. That's this week's California Cannabis Report. I'm Lacey Batista from the Flavor Co. reporting for Weed Talk News.
The battle over the question 3 ballot question in Florida continues to rage, with both sides trying to outspend each other in media campaigns. The latest polls in that state continue to show support that will be bigger than the 60% required for it to pass into law. Our new Florida reporter is Jeff Aker, the master gardener in the Sunshine State, who is constantly waving the yes on question 3 initiative.
Thanks, Alaina. Yeah, I'm Jeff, the Master Gardener from Florida for Weed Talk News. Yes, we have quite the battle going on, but we have a lot of issues here in Florida. We have some of the strictest cannabis laws on the books in the country. If you got caught with 32 or an ounce of weed in your car, you would be up to 5 years in prison. If you got caught growing one plant in Florida, a felony, 5 years in prison. The Department of Justice has come out and said there's currently no one in jail for minimal amounts of cannabis. Of course not. It's a misdemeanor for under 20 grams. So, but I bet you those 16,000 people they arrested for cannabis possession in Florida last year have attorney fees, have troubles working and getting jobs. It's hard. It's hard with a cannabis possession conviction. Let's put it all away. Let's put the risk of that away. Vote for 3. I urge all Floridians, not for yourself, do it for your friends, your family, the wellness of the state. Another research shows that people buy their cannabis from dispensaries when available. They would rather buy it from dispensaries when available. Come back and see us. More news coming. Jeff, Master Gardener from Florida for Weed Talk News.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jill Goldsberry, and welcome to Weed Talk News, the New Jersey Cannabis Report. And we're beginning today with the developing story out of Jersey City. A new legal filing is making headlines, accusing Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop of using his position to target police officers for their off-duty legal cannabis use. And it's alleged that it's it is a strategy to boost his gubernatorial campaign. So what we've discovered is attorney Michael Rubius, who has filed the complaint, alleges that Mayor Stephen Fulop is exploiting his power to fire police officers who use legally regulated cannabis during their personal time. And according to Rubius, this action is just another legal misstep. But he claims that it's Mayor Fulop's, I guess, ruse. I guess that's the best way to describe it, to get attention to himself, to get the gubernatorial bid. The problem is this action is really is going to affect police officers. Other mayors in other cities may look at this and see that this is something that they can do, that they'd like to do. And it affects the taxpayers who face substantial costs in back pay and attorney fees. And it raises the questions as well with personal freedoms it raises the question of personal freedoms versus professional regulations. So we'll continue to follow up on this story and bring you the latest updates as they develop. I'm Jill Goldsberry with the New Jersey Report, where we talk news, New Jersey.
Now let's check in with the cannabis legalization news guys, Thomas Howard and Miggy 420.
We have some federal legalization news this week. We're going to really focus on that because the presidential election is coming up, but also we're expecting Schedule 3 and many other things. This election allows the elected possible senators and representatives to ring in on whether or not they support your favorite issue. And that's why it is our lead story of the week. There's certain things that I don't like in laws, loopholes and window dressing. And so that's why. And so like when I see loopholes or window dressing, I'm like, what are you even trying to do here? What's the policy goal of this? Fraud? Is that what the policy goal is? Because that's how you get fraud. But I digress. We're here for the news. And so we have news that's at the national level. I'm looking at the second story. The first one has to do with Kamala Harris, ready to sign marijuana reform bill if elected president, according to a Democratic senator.
For legalization, like I've always, I never thought policy was ever going to happen, dude. Because like you've always said, Congress needs to pass the bill, right, to make this thing part of our lexicon, whatever you want to say. But with rescheduling, that's already been the ball rolling. Like there's been actual how to legislate, how to lead with this present administration. And I see
they don't want to. Like cannabis is such a non-issue. I mean, like we love it. We think it's an important issue about what it means to be American and freedom and small government, big government, sensible regulations, faith in the laws that you have to abide by. But we are just by and large ignored. The Democratic National Convention, the Republican National Convention, number of times cannabis came up.
Well, it's on a Democratic platform now. I mean, at least they touted it, right? That was one of the stories
Zero.
Not at all?
No, it's still not up. And so like, it's one of those where what's going to happen is Harris will win. Is she going to then sign something? And then she doesn't have to sign nothing. They just have to make the rule effective. Like,
well, as far as
Biden's already signed that thing 2 years ago.
Right. The ball's already rolling. I mean, it can stop. It can get stopped at any time. So I think with if we can continue with the Democratic administration type BS, we will get the progress we need. Something that'll be for the people. Something that's going to be, like you said, the whole liberty, freedom. Because the Farm Bill, people say the Farm Bill legalized weed, but it's by far has not. It hasn't given anybody protections. Right?
Yeah, it has not legalized marijuana. It legalized the cannabis plant. Thumbs up for you. It legalized the cannabis plant, but it did not allow for all those crimes. And so like when you have states like North Carolina, where they're saying, oh, this THC is hemp, here, go buy it at a store. You lit it on fire, arrest them. Like they haven't fixed it. That's just a loophole being exploited right there. And so I don't like that. And I also don't like when they don't really know how to set up the regulations, or they set up the regulations that they know are going to like fail, or they just don't really care. And that's really kind of what I get after being in it for so long. I just think a lot of it is they don't really care.
Well, that will wrap it up for the last edition of Weed Talk News. We will be launching Cannabis Coast to Coast News on September 9th. So remember to like, share, subscribe. And now you can download the new PCM TV app, available for free at the App Store and Google Play. Plus, we offer a bonus coupon of $500 for your next hotel stay at many major hotels. Check it out and make sure you search for PCM with a space before the T and V. It's available right now. PCM founder Jimmy Young and co-host Eric Williamson will have more details on some other promotions we are introducing as we roll this out with our live remote scheduled for September 3rd. But for now, I'm Alaina Pinto. Remember, it's a whole new world of weed out there, so use it responsibly. We leave you with a video essay of the Flower Expo show that was in Michigan 2 weeks ago.